Hey guys. All right, so I just had something really quick I wanted to talk about today. I'm about to go teach class, so I don't have a lot of time. But I had an interesting conversation with a guy this morning, and we were talking about the coronavirus, the lockdowns or the shutdowns, lockdowns, whatever they are. And I said, the thing that bothers me more than anything is the fact that the North Carolina Constitution doesn't give the government, whether it be the governor or the legislature, the power to lock down private businesses and private industry, right? And so it really shouldn't be doing everything it's doing because it doesn't have the power to do that. And an arbitrary power is a problem. So anytime government takes power that it doesn't have or it was not explicitly given by the Constitution itself, that means it has power from nowhere. And if it has power from nowhere, or if it's getting its power from nowhere, then it's unlimited. But just because they're using this unlimited power for something quote unquote positive right now doesn't mean they won't use it for something quote unquote negative in the future, right? The fact is, once they break that limitation, they're now unlimited, and unlimited power is never good power, right? No matter what it's being used for. So I just sort of mentioned that to this guy. I didn't obviously get into all this detail, but he responded and said, but yeah, aren't they closing things down? Isn't it better for the people? Aren't they trying to help the people by closing things down and enforcing mask mandates? And I said, well, my question is, do you really believe that the government is out for our best interests? Do you really believe that the government is really motivated out of pure motivations to just help mankind? And he had to sort of stop because I was challenging the basis of his claim. I was challenging what his claim was based upon, a fundamental foundation, which was, if government is doing this, it's for our good. And he sort of had to backtrack a little bit. He was like, well, maybe not all of them, maybe not. And we sort of kept talking from there, and it was a amenable conversation. But it got me thinking about Americans in general and how we approach this whole situation. Are we looking at government through rose-colored glasses, where we assume that everything government is doing is truly out of our own best interests? It's truly because they want to help the people. Or are we looking at them realistically as human beings, realizing that human beings are corruptible, are out for their own gain, are out for ambition, right? All of the things that the founders made very clear at the founding of this country, but also history has made clear over time, which is that people love power. And any crisis is wonderful for government because government gets power. Why? Because we, generally speaking, will give it to them. We're a lot more, is this a word, manipulatable? I don't know if that's a word, but we're able to be manipulated a lot more easily when there's something that is causing us to fear for our own safety, right? And government loves that. Government loves a good crisis because every good crisis throughout American history has only ballooned government power. And what government doesn't want power? What government is not happy to have power? So my question is, what is your basis? What do you base your assumption about government's actions upon? Is it based on the assumption that they're good, that they're out for the betterment of the people, that they have sort of pure motivations? Because if it is that, then you need to really take a long, hard look at history and consider for yourself whether you have a sort of idealized understanding of human nature and government. But if you want to look at it truly and honestly, most Americans would have to admit that government is not necessarily doing things for their best interest. The government and the people in government want power. Government loves power, and government's going to do what it can to get power, right? And so how can we trust anything government's doing? Whether it's lockdowns, whether it's shutdowns, whether it's opening things, whether it's mask mandates or taking away mask mandates, all of those things. What is it really for? If it's for their own self-interest and for their own power, then we need to question everything they do. Now, obviously, it's important to look at what the Constitution equips them to do. But Constitution aside, we can't be delusioned into believing that these government officials truly have our best interests at heart, because they don't, okay? The hard and the sad reality is people go after their own best interests. It's just a fact of life. And I would be hard-pressed to find anyone who would push too hard against that, because the evidence is on my side here, right? Yes, there may be a few people here or there who seem charitable or generally speaking will do things selflessly, but on the whole, people go after what's best for them, right? And that doesn't go away when you get in power. In fact, it just inflames that very thing, which means that we can't approach what the government is doing in their handling of this crisis with the assumption that they're doing so with our best interest. We can't trust what they tell us, right? So the only thing we can do is we can know what it is empowered to do, what government is empowered to do, and hold them accountable to what they are empowered to do. Go study your state constitutions, right? Make sure that everything the government is doing is based on something, not just arbitrary. And if it is arbitrary, start holding them accountable to that. Start challenging them. You'll find most likely that if you push hard enough, reality will actually come forth. And it's probably a different reality for every state government. So I'm not going to presume upon your state government or even my state government. But what I do know is that government loves power and government is not out for my best interest. And I would advise and strongly encourage all other Americans to understand the same. Challenge your own assumptions and your own beliefs about government, and consider if you truly think government has your best interest at heart. And speaking to those who are generally on the left, I want to say this. If there's such questioning and, concern about a police state and about the police and about people in authority in general, this should be extended to all areas and all levels of government, right? So why rapidly support government in one instance and push back against it in another? We need to be consistent. See, all government is corrupt. It just is. Why? Because it's made up of human beings, and human beings are corrupt. So I hope that this was some food for thought. I hope this gives you something to chew on or talk about or think about. If you have a response, I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave comments in the section below. You can please subscribe to my YouTube channel because I am going to be posting more videos, especially now that I have this super cool new microphone. So anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Have a good day, night, whenever it is that you're watching this video. And until next time.